right, let's get all the latest updates that are coming in on the Karur Stampede. There's a political blame game. You're seeing each side point fingers at the other. There is an investigation that's underway. And remember, an FIR that's been registered in which you've got TVK leaders being booked. So far, there's been no action against the district administration. And the question that everyone's asking, who was responsible for the stampede? We don't have answers just yet. But it's also turned, as I said, into a big political fight. And joining me here on India Today on Super 6, we've got our panelists with us. Dharnidharan, spokesperson of the DMK, is joining me this evening. We've got Sanjay Sahai, former IPS officer, as well as Muralidharan Shivalingam, AIADMK supporter. Mr. Sanjay Sahai, I'd like to begin with you. As a former IPS officer, and I had you, of course, on my show as well about 24 hours ago, when you were rather critical of the administration as well, and the handling of how this entire of this rally itself that led perhaps to the stampede. 24 hours on, with more details of exactly what transpired, Mr. Sahai, what do you think? Who really does the responsibility fall on here?
It is very crystal clear. If Vijay does not listen to somebody who has the responsibility, power and the mandate to control Vijay and TVK as far as the crowd management, as far as the political function, the whole power is vested in police and the local administration and the state government. Where is the question that somebody comes out of the blue and runs the nature of crowd gathering and road shows in whichever way he wants? It does not fit into any framework of crowd gathering, crowd management, crowd control. So that's point number one. So Vijay can be booked for whatever, in whichever way they want. They could have stopped the function. They could have stopped his travel from Chennai. They could have 101 things. They could have got into a media blitzkrieg. See, their representatives or spokesperson are battling it out on in TV studios or on panel discussions, whichever way you take it. I think the same effort could have been done by the government, telling that, okay, it is delayed, it will not happen. See, crisis management does not mean that the crisis should happen and only then the crisis management takes place. Crisis management means that when we are nearing a crisis, we have the capability to stop and prevent the crisis. Only to come on your show, I went into all the commissions of inquiry and all the criminal cases which started from 1992 till today, inclusive of the Karur case. So there has been one case where Tamil Nadu government was held responsible, but there was no action taken against anybody else. There is a very clear-cut strand which shows that every single commission of inquiry has found the government and the local authorities to be negligent. Primarily, the issue is regarding crowd control. So it is basically overcrowding which is right there, and every single commission of inquiry, no action has been taken against any officials. That is number one. And there has been remedial action which has been provided in all these reports, but no remedial action has been taken. And we are where we are.
Dharnidharan of the DMK is also with us on this broadcast. The concern is, Dharnidharan, that so far in the FIR that's been registered, you're seeing TVK leaders being booked. What about the local administration? Are we trying to suggest that the local administration has absolutely no responsibility to shoulder when a rally happens in that particular district? Mr. Sahai, a former IPS officer, is highlighting how crowd control is not Vijay's responsibility, it's the official's responsibility. Vijay, as a political leader, yes, must be held accountable. No one's giving him a clean sheet, but so should the local administration. Are we giving them a clean sheet here?
I'm not giving anyone a clean sheet. Firstly and foremost, this incident should not have happened. And before doing politics, I would like to apologize to the family of those who are injured and who are killed. I think many of them have lost their children, have lost their sole bread-bearing member of the family. It's very, very unfortunate and should not have happened. But before it's very easy to point blame at others. But I'm not even saying that Vijay's intention was to make the stampede happen. But the whole crux of the matter was that Vijay got carried away and his lack of inexperience was shown. The main reason why the stampede was happening was because he wanted to show a grander crowd at the point where he stopped. Did he stop at the point where he was suggested to stop by the police? No. The DSP told Vijay's driver, don't stop here. Stop here. But the driver did not listen, went 500 meters further. And normally,
no, but then whose responsibility is it, Dharnidharan, to ensure he listens? to ensure he
coming there.
listens. If rules are there and someone's not following it, it should be enforced. And Vijay is not going to enforce the rules.
No, I'm coming there. I'm coming there. What I'm first, another major mistake which he did this time was normally he will stand on top of his van and show left and the right. He will wave at left and the right, and people will see him and leave. Today, when the incident happened on Sunday, he did not go up the podium. He was sitting inside the van and switched off his light. Normally, when you're sitting inside the first row, he'll turn on the light, people see him and go. So they couldn't have a glimpse of they were following him. And again, the administration tried to reach out to him to say that don't do this. But because he wanted to show a large crowd, he did not do so. He did not listen. So the 2 points he did not listen. And when there are already 40,000 people, 50,000 people, at that point, if you are going to stop the rally, again there is going to be chaos. And third major blunder which he did was he made people wait from 8:45 a.m. Was supposed to address in Namakkal at 8:45 a.m. And then in Karur at 12:30 p.m. So people have been waiting since 8:30 in the morning until 8:30 p.m., 12 hours without food, and no provision for water or food had been made, and shops were closed because they were afraid that.
I agree. You're right in highlighting all of these blunders. 3 blunders that you've highlighted, Dhanidharan. But who stops these blunders from happening?
And the fourth blunder. There's a fourth blunder.
Let's say there are 10 blunders. Dhanidharan, let's say there are 10 blunders. Let's say there are 10 blunders. Whose responsibility is to ensure that these blunders don't happen? Vijay is not in power.
It's a private event. We gave permission. We gave.
But law and order is under whom?
They approached the court. Listen. We gave conditions. Tamil Nadu police gave him conditions. He approached the High Court. What did the High Court say? The conditions are imposed to make sure the rally is safe. And then he said, no, we don't want this condition. Then the High Court clearly told us.
Again, who imposes the conditions? I'll come back to the same thing. Imposing conditions, enforcement. That's not Vijay's responsibility, Dhanidharan. That's the local administration.
Police responsibility. No, police is responsibility. Police and the DMK party has nothing to do with each other. Police is an institution which is supposed to be non-partisan and runs a non-partisan.
So you concede. So you concede that there were lapses on the part of the police that need to be looked into.
I'm not conceding that. What I am trying to say is the same venue 3 weeks back, AIADMK had a rally, right? In Tamil Nadu, 1947 until today, everyone had rallies. MGR had more people. Kalaignar had more people. Anna had 5-6 times more people than Vijay has had. Why never such incident happened? Because Vijay is setting a very wrong precedent. Why has it not happened in any other political rally in Tamil Nadu or rather in the country? Prime Minister Modi has addressed huge rallies. 2 weeks back, DMK's Mupperumula happened in Karur. 5 lakh people congregated. 1 million people came for Udiniti's youth rally in Salem in 2024 Feb. Why nothing happened? I have been to those rallies because every party was responsible. Vijay's party, another major problem is they do not have.
I'll come to you, Dhanidharan. I'll come back to you. Let me give Muralidharan also a chance now. Okay, Dhanidharan, quickly, please.
So last time when I was here 2 weeks back, when police had imposed conditions and had told that it can't happen here in this location, happen in other locations, dates were changed. You said, is your party afraid? You asked me this question, is your party afraid of Vijay? Right? If you had not given permission for the rally, the police would have been told that they're acting in a partisan manner and supporting the DMK and afraid of Vijay.
No, okay, so let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Okay, let's put it this way. If the police and if there was a public statement that was issued saying that look, the time limit within which Vijay was supposed to hold his rally hasn't been met, where was the room to then say, are you afraid of Vijay? Because you've said this is the granted time for his rally. I'll bring in Muralidharan Shivalingam also on this broadcast. Muralidharan, your comments. There's all of this talk about whether there was a conspiracy, which is what the TV case is claiming here. They're claiming sabotage. They're claiming conspiracy led to the stampede. What do you think?
Akshita, sorry to tell you, the police force in a DMK regime is a total blunder. It's not one blunder, two blunder. I can give you many instances. You go back to the air show which we had in Marina, 5 people lost their life when the intelligence officer was supposed to be in the field, the police intelligence officer, he was sitting next to the chief minister and he was enjoying the show. This was the first, mishap which happened. After that, the Kallakurchi, we all know that 50 people died. And if Mr. Dhanidharan will tell us that, police were not aware that illicit liquor was thriving there for many years. And that becomes, the second blunder. Then after all these, there was a hit job of a Dalit leader in Chennai, and the police, hurried the inquiry and they hushed it up in such a way, they encountered the prime suspect. And that matter has been, the High Court has taken cognizance of the matter and they have referred it to the CBI for an inquiry now. So if you talk about police force in Tamil Nadu, it's in complete shambles. This is their responsibility. Whose responsibility for all the lives? It's their responsibility. In fact, the High Court just a week ago in the same matter said, why don't you form guidelines? Not just, safety of the people. Even if the people come to a rally and they damage public property, they should be penalized. The party should be penalized. Did they do it? No, they were busy. They were busy sending ambulances. This is not the first instance, Akshita. I mean, they have done this with the Edapadi's meeting also. Every time Edapadi has a road show. See, these are not meetings. This is not a public space meeting or a conference. These are like, it's like he's on a tour. He's just visiting that city and he's stopping by and making a speech. And whenever Edapadi did this, they used to send an ambulance in between just to disrupt the proceedings. So this is an habit. This is an habitual, and we should hold DMK and their administrators completely responsible. This is cold-blooded murder, if you ask me. They are responsible for this.
No, but so is Vijay. I'm sure you'll concede, Muralidharan, that also Vijay, TVK must be held accountable. It's no one side that can be blamed here.
Akshita, Vijay is responsible. He had asked for one space. He was not given that space. He was given a different space. Where Annamalai came in his defense yesterday and said, Annamalai, this place can't even hold 5,000 people. How can they give this place for 10,000 people? And more 15,000-20,000 people landed there. Obviously, it's chaos. And Annamalai hails from Karur. Then other gentleman who hails from Karur is Sendil Balaji. So there are too many questions it throws up. Because there were 3-4 ambulances which are roaming around this place anticipating such a mishap. So that's shocking, right? There's something wrong, seriously.
Danidharan, your response to this?
The other two options which the TVK sought were only single lane roads. The pictures are visible everywhere in X platform as well as in news channels. I think you can also get access to those and show that the only reason why this venue was given is this is a large venue compared to all the venue there, right? Ideally, right, you should not be doing roadshow in one place in a district. You should be doing at 4 points, which you also suggested to him, but they outright rejected that, right? Because normally, and another reason is, why did people congregate in that street? Simply because he was not standing up the podium, he was sitting inside and turned off the lights of his caravan, and people from 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers are following him so that to have a glimpse. That is what resulted. And then when he started throwing the water bottles, then people wanted to catch the water that he gives. And again, law and order in Tamil Nadu is drastically improved as per NCRB data under the DMK government. Unfortunately, in this country, stampedes are happening and it should not happen. We need to have an all India committee to describe why it happened. What happened during Kumbh Mela. In Hathras, I raised that issue. That Bole Baba.
You've raised that's the irony of it, Danidharan. And each of these stampedes where the authorities were questioned, in this case you're saying authorities not to be questioned.
I'm not saying that. I never said authorities should be questioned, not be questioned.
No, if you have TVK leaders who are booked, equally responsible is the Karur administration. We're waiting for an investigation on one hand, but not on the other.
No. An FIR has been filed. A charge sheet has not yet been filed. And there's also a one-member judicial committee. So even the district officials will be investigated or be questioned. And based on who is wrong, action will be taken and no one will be spared. Why will we protect anyone who is wrong? No one will be spared. That is not a point. But when the Bole Baba incident happened in UP, I said the district magistrate should be sacked. The local SP should be sacked. And all the news channels, including the UP government, said, oh, Bole Baba's private event, he was reckless. Instead of 80,000 people, he called 2.5 lakh people.
No, so if you're demanding it, you should walk the talk now, no? You should walk the talk now. Anyway, I've run out of time. Mr. Sanjay Sahai, last word to you. Last word to you, Mr. Sanjay Sahai. You've heard, of course, what the... Go ahead, sir.
I think it is too much of a political talk and I don't think anybody is really interested in setting this mark-in order. And the responsibility of Bangalore Commissioner... One second.
Take things in order.
One second, sir.
IPS is the same across the country.
Mr.
One second, sir. See, how is it so different?
The last few minutes of the discussion. So let's please... Last few minutes that I have, Mr. Sahai.
See, one thing is very, very clear that no political class or the political entity in this country is interested in crowd management. Mismanagement is somehow helping them in whichever manner I'm not aware of. There is no question of talking anything about Vijay. Whatever Vijay has done, not done, the government has complete powers. They could have stopped his rally, they could have booked him. And I was going through the criminal liability. If you take criminal liability of Vijay, which the DMK is talking about, that he was aware of it, there was no light, one bottle was thrown and all these things went haywire, the hell broke down. Now, that is the way crowd management is not done. Let's be very, very clear about it. And this might be one of the rare occurrences in this country where there is no inquiry ordered against the local administration. So straight away in such cases, suspensions happen, departmental inquiry is ordered. This is certainly at a much worse sort of a situation compared to Bangalore Stampede, where Bangalore Commissioner, variety of other people lost their jobs.
Now, I mean, 41 people have died.
Yes.
You can't compare this to any other such tragedy because this is the worst such stampede to have occurred at a political event. And that itself should be enough to wake up the authorities. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Personally, looking at what's happened almost 48 hours since that stampede, I'm disappointed. Disappointed that on one hand, you have the Tamaraga Vetrikaragam, the TVK and Vijay, who so far haven't spoken. There's not been a single statement from them. The TVK refuses to join any debate right now, perhaps because they've not figured out exactly what they should be saying. When ideally, they should have come on and shouldered some of the responsibility, saying it's unfortunate it happened at our event. So no, we don't have answers from the TVK. The DMK, you've heard there, they're saying the local administration is not to blame, it's only the TVK. As a result of this, you've got nobody shouldering the responsibility, saying we will introspect, we will look into what lessons can be learned from this tragedy. That would have been the ideal response that everyone's looking out for when 41 lives have been lost.